Hello, everybody. I am the man. Now, today we're going to be trying One Piece Chapter 1068 Dreams of a Genius. Alrighty now. So, hear me out. This chapter was pretty good. I know, shocker, right? One Piece being good. I know you're very surprised by this, but we have to move forward. Anyway, so Cypher Pull makes their way to the island basically, and after a long bunch of exposition and exchange and character moments, we cut to Lucci basically using the mini Kuma to yeet themselves onto the island. But then we cut to the real Kuma, and the real Kuma instead yeets himself to what I'm guessing is Vegapunk Island, or sorry, Egghead Island. But honestly, I'm probably not going to remember that name very well, especially once this arc ends. Ugh. But anyway, moving on. So, Luffy is still talking to Vegapunk. Vegapunk is sharing his dream. That is interesting. He also wants to go with them. Now, it would be really weird if, like, Vegapunk became a Straw Hat, but I don't know, it kind of fits. Like, he is kind of weird in every sense of the word, which is fitting, because every Straw Hat is pretty weird in their own right, so not really such a bad thing. Also, Luffy's being Luffy and not caring as they talk about their dream, which, I don't know, does kind of seem like Luffy, but he also talks about how, like, oh, you're a person who wants to make other people happy. I respect it, but I'm not going to be a hero. So, yeah. Also, they bring up the giant robot and how they need a limitless energy source. So, guys, hear me out. Hear me out. This limited energy source, it's something that they had back in the day that they also have now, most likely. And it's very crazy. Now, what do we know that is extremely weird and makes no sense to power something, and as we can see, doesn't seem to have much of a limit? That's right, it's cola. Please. I am predicting this. I think the secret or a component of their energy source that Vegapunk needs so badly is gonna be in cola. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. And you know what? If, like, King of Lightning or Checking or Grand Line Review or Morge or BDA Law, any of them try to claim that theory, I will have you know that as of 6:30 on Thursday, December 1st, I called this theory. This is my theory. If anyone else steals it, we're going to be having a little bit of trouble now, boys. I'm just kidding. Although it would be nice to get credit for something, but, you know, that's not going to happen. Anyway, CP0 finally makes their way to the island, and Kaku is also acting very, very weird once he puts on the mask. I don't know why, but it seems almost as if he, like, changed personalities while he was, like, when he became CP0, actually, because he was far more serious when in CP9, so maybe getting his butt kicked by Zoro, sort of loosened up those nerves of his, along with maybe cutting a few off thanks to the onigiri. Anyway, so yada yada yada, basically all hell breaks loose. They're like, oh, mount all the important people, get the fight on, yada yada yada. They decide to take Bonnie, and Luffy brings up how apparently one of the criteria for Vegapunk, is you have a funny looking head. So Chopper is a little confused by this. Knowing how Chopper is, and when the anime gets to this scene in about 9 years, I think it's gonna be Chopper then assumes that Luffy thinks his head is funny in some sort of way. That's also another prediction, but that one's very easy. Then Vegapunk decides to just decloak. Cloak, I mean? The decloak. So basically turn invisible. Why? I don't know. It's weird. But anyway. Basically, the holograms and everything is keep attacking. We find out a little bit more about the defense system of this place. And then the giant child. What's her name? I don't know. I don't. Wrath. Oh, Atlas. Yes. Yes, Atlas. So, Poochie or Gucci, Rob Gucci decides to murder the child. Okay, that's great. Apparently, she's still breathing. I call cap. She has only half a head. That is what we call a lie. Good job, Oda. We will never see her again. And it's a little crazy. Also, I don't know what it is, but it kind of looks like Bonnie doesn't have arms in this. Like, it almost looks like her arms got blown off. But I don't think that's happened. But it definitely looks like it. So just pointing that out there. So yeah. We have Bonnie with no arms. And we have a dead child. Good. Oh, and also, this little thing called a rematch between Luffy and Lucci. So, maybe this rematch will be close. But I kind of doubt it. And then again, it is also, from what we see, if we can guess who the group is, Chopper, Jinbei, Luffy, so 3, versus CP0 and the guards around them. So this may actually be kind of a close fight. Actually, no. Maybe. Probably not. I gotta be honest. I know Lucci is, like, strong, but, like, I'm sorry. Like, the top 30 list is going to be coming out, like, December 31st. You have 30 days, Oda. Please do not. Thankfully, we don't have a break next week. So maybe we'll get to see it. I really hope we do. But we might unironically have to put Lucci in, depending on how well he does against Luffy. Lucci might end up in the top 15 in 1 month. He might go from not even in the top 30 to in the top 15 within a month. That is crazy, my guy. It's not okay. Not okay. But that was sick. And I'm honestly so hyped for this fight. I know a lot of people are nostalgic for Water 7. Granted, I technically am, because it's been like 2 years since I first since the first time I read through Water 7. So it has been a while, but I'm just not as nostalgic for other people. So there's obviously did a lot for me. It was pretty crazy, all cool, all good, all that stuff. But nothing too fancy out here. Although I would have to say the art is really good, and I've noticed something this arc, the shading is actually very good on point. Because normally One Piece's shading is pretty good, but certain arcs are better than others. Like, I was rereading Thriller Bark, and Thriller Bark, oddly enough, has, like, fantastic shading. So, to see that sort of emulated over here is very interesting, considering, like, the thing is with Thriller Bark, it was focused. One of the main like things involved in the arc, and one of the big gears in the big machine was the shadows. And here we have almost as good shading for what is essentially like, I mean, I guess it is technically the light. Like, there's a lot of light elements in this, like all the holograms and like the inherited will and all that being a light for the future, getting an eternal flame, otherwise known as an eternal light, stuff like that. So there is light themes, but they are light and don't go very skin deep. So just seeing that level of shading on an arc that doesn't necessarily require it too heavily is very interesting and actually pretty exciting. Now, what would I give this chapter? Well, the artwork is pretty great. There's only good pacing this arc. Well, not this arc, this chapter. This chapter is good pacing and good all the way through. Good job, everybody. You did a fantastic job. Oda and his animators. Or not editors. Sorry, my bad. I'm not talking about the anime. So, with all that being said, I can safely give this, honestly, a 7.8 out of 10. Yes, that's right. 7.8. Why a 7.8? Well, you see, fine folks, I realized something. Between 1 and 10, when you have a smaller list, or a smaller number of marks, each of those individual marks matter. So, what I did is I broke down the points even more. So now I'm using even further decibels, so now you might see some 7.8s like what I just gave. You might see some 8.2s in the future, stuff like that. Just so I can break it down a little more and give you a more accurate review of your chapters. Also, I have a couple projects planned. I'll keep you guys updated on that, but look forward to everything. And remember, I will do more than just One Piece content if those videos get good reactions. Without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.